All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a real masterclass approach to diagnosing and, more importantly, solving some of the absolute toughest architectural communication challenges out there on institutional campuses. If you manage or design for colleges, universities, or healthcare facilities, well, you already know. You're dealing with some of the most complex, demanding interior spaces on the planet. As experts in this space, we're going to break down exactly how top-tier institutions are engineering permanent, high-resolution branding directly into the architecture itself. We are moving way beyond those temporary fixes.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the core campus branding challenge, then unpack the massive paradigm shift of direct-to-wall tech. After that, we'll dive into wayfinding, durability, network scale, and wrap up with sustainability and lifecycle value. Let's see how top facilities leaders are shifting to a fully integrated, tech-forward strategy.
Okay, jumping right into Section 1, the Campus Branding Challenge, Navigating Complex Infrastructure. Let's look at the operational headaches that campus architects and brand teams are constantly fighting in these high-traffic zones.
I mean, really ask yourself, why does campus wayfinding constantly break down? Come on, we've all seen it, right? You've got that one corner of a vinyl decal that some bored student just couldn't resist picking at, and now half your multi-thousand-dollar logo is missing, leaving your facilities team totally scrambling. The hard truth is, when your visual communication relies on temporary, vulnerable layers, it's basically guaranteed to fail under the daily stress of thousands of touches.
And this comparison right here, it's honestly night and day. With legacy methods like vinyl and wallpaper, you are fighting a totally losing battle. You're dealing with peeling seams, adhesive off-gassing, and just the sheer logistical nightmare of panel machining. Now compare that to the expert method, direct-to-wall technology. We're talking about a continuous architectural finish that is entirely paint-over ready and literally creates zero shipping waste.
Which brings us nicely to Section 2, Direct-to-Wall Technology Explained, the paradigm shift. This right here is the exact leap that top-tier institutions are taking to cure those systemic infrastructure issues.
So what is it? Direct-to-wall printing is a process that places high-definition artwork directly onto substrates, giving you a seamless, edge-to-edge image. It acts as a continuous architectural finish. Think about that mindset shift for a second. You are completely bypassing vulnerable adhesive films or clunky panel systems. You aren't just slapping a sticker on a wall. You are engineering a permanent, high-resolution finish right into the architecture. And because there are zero seams or edges to lift, bubble, or collect grime, the lifespan of that graphic goes through the roof.
Now, as facilities experts, we know a campus isn't just one pristine type of wall. Far from it. It's a crazy mix of eras and materials. But whether you're working down in a 70-year-old CMU basement, walking through a brand new painted drywall atrium, an athletic training facility with sealed concrete, or even a classic brick facade, this tech adapts flawlessly. It delivers crisp, photoreal details at a massive architectural scale, giving you a museum-quality display regardless of the base material.
Moving on to Section 3, Wayfinding Without Visual Clutter, Integrated Navigation. How do we build systems that actually direct foot traffic without just adding to the noise?
Campuses are absolutely notorious for signage clutter. It's usually a chaotic web of hanging plates, standing banners, overlapping arrows. It's overwhelming. But by strictly utilizing expert planning principles directly on the wall, we get total clarity. We're talking decision point emphasis at major intersections, line of sight mapping so guidance is right where people naturally look, color-coded zones, and pictograms for cross-language clarity, all repeated every 30 to 60 feet. We're replacing hanging visual clutter with highly intuitive architectural guidance.
All right, Section 4, Durability and Cleanable Surfaces, the operational deep dive. Let's look at the logistical reality of actually maintaining these spaces. Let's be real, schools and hospitals are punishing environments. Between the thousands of daily touches, runaway equipment carts, and rolling backpacks, the walls take a daily battering. But because direct-to-wall graphics are flush with the surface, there are absolutely no edges to peel. There's no adhesive film to suddenly delaminate when the humidity spikes. Custodial teams can basically just wipe it down with standard, non-abrasive cleaners, which effortlessly supports those rigorous infection control protocols you see in clinical settings. But how does this actually happen without, shutting down an entire building? It's a completely frictionless, overnight installation. It starts with a pre-install survey and test, moves into dimension-accurate mock-ups, and then relies on night shift mobilization. The equipment is remarkably compact and quiet. The printing happens right there on site, skipping all those shipping delays, and finishes up with a simple punch list and turnover. The coolest part? Most of these walls are done start to finish in under 5 hours, completely preventing any disruption to classes.
Now for the true test of institutional expertise. Section 5, Designing for Network Scale, Multi-Campus Governance.
Look, finishing one building beautifully, that's the easy part. Maintaining strict brand governance across 20 different campus locations over a multi-year plan, that requires extreme operational discipline. Scalability requires exact enablers, centralized brand asset libraries, incredibly specific wall schedules with annotated elevations, and standardized measurement protocols. When you combine those with calibrated, color-managed workflows, you guarantee that your specific brand of legacy blue prints exactly the same in Building A as it does in Building Z.
Finally, let's zoom out to the macro level. Section 6, Sustainability and Lifecycle Value, the Strategic Horizon. Let's analyze the 10-year efficiency of this strategy. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword anymore. It's a hard requirement in higher ed procurement, and the life cycle data here is undeniable. Just look at the material waste. Vinyl guarantees high PVC waste, offcuts, and pallet trash. Direct to wall, minimal waste because you're printing right on site with zero PVC. We're trading toxic solvent adhesives and VOC off-gassing for a completely clean, zero-adhesive process. And when it is time for an update, you don't send a torn-down wall of plastic to a landfill. You just add a top coat of paint and reprint. It's a game changer for your total cost of ownership.
As we wrap up this masterclass explainer, I want to leave you reflecting on this core philosophy. True, expert-level institutional branding is a continuous, edge-to-edge image that reads as part of the architecture, rather than just a superficially applied layer. We've walked through the operational, the visual, and the sustainable advantages of treating your walls as a permanent canvas. So the question is, as a leader in your space, are you still just taping temporary graphics to your walls, or are you finally ready to permanently integrate your brand into the architecture itself?